Hey guys, and welcome back to Pokémon Sun. We're on the outskirts of Tapu village now, so we're either going to learn some exciting lore, or the place is going to be pretty much abandoned and, goddamn near destroyed, knowing Tapu Koku's temper.
Hopefully we'll get both, because personally I love to learn and I love to see stuff blow up, which is why I only get half of that whenever I watch a Michael Bay film.
Ah, yes, indeed. It's never both. That's his real failing as a director, you know? You can't educate me while you blow shit up.
Yeah, can't we destroy New York City and learn a little bit about ourselves in the process? Come on.
Let's have a look in here. Are there any ne'er-do-wells in here? Of course they are.
You know, I legit thought when I walked in here and I saw this punk kid and some guy sitting on the couch, I'm like, did I just enter your house, dude? Are you like a Team Skull member who is like, well, obviously, still a kid living with their parents, but did I just legit walk into your home here? I'm sorry, dude.
Well, I thought half of that. I thought I was going to get into a battle, but no matter what you say, he doesn't fight you. Instead, he just gives you a TM.
Yeah, I actually said no at first, and then I immediately returned to talk shit to him and watch how he immediately backed down.
Ah, nice.
You told me what Taunt did, and I do not have the wiki up at the moment, so I'm going to look that back up, but I seem to recall it's a move that never really affects me, because usually what happens when somebody taunts is that I do a super effective move and I kill them instantly, so there you go.
I believe it makes it so you can't use anything other than attack moves for like 3 turns.
The problem is, with most of my Pokemon, most of their movesets are attack moves. I mean, I'm not, like, getting rid of shit that, like, buffs or, like, does, like, effects, things like that. I've got Thunder Wave, I have Quiver Dance on a Pinobee now, obviously, because I heard that shit was OP. But for the most part, I tend to kind of lean towards shit that will kill things as fast as possible, which is probably the best tactic.
Interesting bit of lore there. See, we are learning lore. Apparently Team Skull formed around one of the old kahunas.
Huh, that's interesting. I wonder who that could be. See, this right here makes me think that this punk girl is actually living with her grandma in this trailer. It kind of calls back to when, way long ago, when I was actually living in, like, a government-provided trailer for a while because of a hurricane that had gone through. That was interesting. That was interesting stuff.
I think everyone should have to live in a trailer at least one point in their lives, just to see how it's like.
For a brief while, I considered that when I retired, I would actually get, like, what's the word? The fucking...
RV.
RV, you drive around in your house, basically. Well, these are very authentic teensters. They're standing around talking and not really getting any work done, so I have to commend Pokemon for getting their research accurate.
Oh man, this Pokemon League's never gonna get construction of this, right?
So listen, on my team, I've been trying to get into low-end Vulpix, and I actually kicked Dudley back to the box because he wasn't doing very good.
Oh man, you predicting your own future here?
Well, that would be a pretty good stand power. I could definitely go for some of that.
I mean, let's be honest here. If you were a teamster, construction worker, you'd really have, work, locked down. Because they're very rarely out of work.
I mean, they're always building stuff. It's like one of those industries where, the work is... I don't really like working with my hands, admittedly, but it's always definitely reliable. Somebody's always building stuff or repairing something or flipping a property, things like that. Fuck, I mean, if you look at, the Bravo or those other home shopping channels or whatever, they've got 5-10 shows about finding properties and flipping them and shit like that, because apparently you can make money off that kind of thing if you know what you're doing. I don't, because I'm an asshole that way.
The traditional cup of tea, or whatever they're serving here.
The problem is that they hired that Grimer to be an assistant. That sort of affected the quality of the drinks as a result.
Yeah, I love, when I go to get a beverage from Starbucks, just out of, my... Is there a version of peripheral vision that's to do with smell? Just out of my peripheral smell, through my right nostril, which is closed up this hour, a faint whiff of shit goes up it, and just really enhances the flavour.
I actually want to see more Pokemon kind of working alongside humans in these kind of jobs. I'd love to see a fucking... I'm trying to think of a Pokemon that could work in a cafe that isn't Grimer, like a Meowth. Just fucking out of nowhere. Let's have a Meowth make coffee, because that would be adorable, dude.
Well, Machamp would be pretty good in the kitchen and whatnot, cooking several meals at once.
I want to see a Machamp cook. Actually, that would be really cool, because, I mean, we always see them, like, move shit and build shit. I want to see a Machamp that's kind of in touch with its culinary side. I think that would be an interesting change of pace.
Oh, more Pokebeans. All the Pokebeans for the Poke Refresh.
He's just got, like, a box that says Pokebeans in the back, and it's full of styrofoam peanuts. Here you go, kid.
Now, I don't have a Graveler yet, but I think we can get one pretty easily down the line. Oh wait, no, he wants a Haunter. Yes, you can get a Haunter pretty easily from the next trial site.
You know, I'll have to definitely, like, trade some stuff to you if I ever get, like, a Scyther, because I really want my fucking Scizor, dude, so I'm gonna have to need your help on this one.
Well, do you trust me to trade back?
Yes? Should I not trust you to trade back?
We'll see.
Oh, it's that girl I was talking about, where she mentions how Colress is like, oh, my suit is so insulated, and I'm like, who gives an actual fuck, man?
But I would add, I don't give a fuck.
A flying, a rat's ass, or a cosmic fuck in general.
Okay, I have to apologize for our pronunciation of Pelago earlier in the playthrough. I should know this. You know, the Orange Archipelago. That's like my favorite arc of the OG Pokemon anime. I should know these things.
Man, we mentioned at the beginning that we would probably get all the damn Hawaiian names wrong. Like, I'm still standing by that. I'm not trying to mess up these names. They just come out that way, because I ain't no good with the talking words.
Well, I'm pretty sure, like, Pelago is not Hawaiian in origin. Like, Alola, with an L on the end, is, like, sort of Hawaiian in nature, considering what it's based on. That's what you get wrong all the time.
You know what, I can't wait until the comments come out and go, oh, it's not Alola, it's Alula. I'm like, well, what? How am I supposed to know that, man?
See, this is why Pokemon needs voice acting. If it worked for Zelda, it can work for Pokemon.
I have actually not seen that, but supposedly Zelda is voice act now, which is kind of... I like her design in Breath of the Wild from what I've seen of that. I don't know if I'm going to check that game out, because as we said before, I have historically had a very bad track record in finishing 3D Zelda games, so... I'll have to see about that. I ain't gonna get a Switch, so it would have to be for the Wii U, I'm afraid.
Oh, cue a fan giving you a Switch and you saying, oh, I always wanted a Switch.
I'm not gonna do that. I mean, like, if I get one that somebody gives me, sure, yes, I'll play it. Thank you, dude. I mean, I appreciate it.
Huh, the Aether House. Just as, I don't know, white and gold as all that other locales.
Yeah, I have to admit, when I got here, I was very suspicious about the Aether House. I mean, considering what I know then and now about the Aether Foundation, I was kind of suspecting some shit to go down. Shit went down, but not the kind of shit I was expecting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I didn't really, like, expect or want to fight toddlers the second I walked into this place. I would have, like, preferred just to sit down, to be honest with you.
It's weird that the mystic gorilla in the back, which I immediately forgot the name of, so let me look that up really fast.
Oranguru.
Oranguru, yeah, he's in the back. I don't actually think he, like, interacts with you. He's just, you always see his back and he never moves, because I guess he's super busy doing paperwork, which is naturally something I entrust to a Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, he's doing, like, filing and whatnot, poor guy.
I'm glad to see Elekid's actually getting some action. As we said before, it's probably one of the baby evolutions that turned out better than the other ones, I think. It seems like a natural stage.
Oh, man, I am gonna, like, fire the fuck out of y'all.
It is so good that you're doing this indoors against toddlers, which will definitely not cause problems.
Well, they're gonna learn this lesson, and they're gonna learn it early, okay? Do not fuck with Entom.
It looks like when he's charging that attack, he's trying to dig it up out of the ground with his hands. It's like, I'm unearthing some fire.
Oh, he's kneading. Okay, yeah, well, very cat-like in that regard. All my dreams have been crushed.
Man, eat shit, Hunter. I totally wasted your ass.
Oh, man, we're pretty lively today. I apologize for all the swearing. We don't do it to make sweet ad revenue or anything. It's just how we talk, to be honest.
Hey, swearing is fun. Like, it's very entertaining to string profanities together into something creative and new.
Oh, he loves it. He'll pretend not to love it, but he loves it.
Can't we just, like, shake hands? I mean, like, you're standing up, you're kind of like a person now. I feel uncomfortable touching your chest, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, don't ever visit Tony the Tiger's official Twitter page. You'll see strings upon strings of "fuck me, daddy" in the comments.
What's great is that he kind of, the Tony the Tiger one will not respond to that, but Chester Cheetah's account actually has, which is pretty cool, I gotta say.
Yeah, less said about that, the better, I think.
No, I mean, like, it's very joking. But, you know, I like how it's still kind of playing along. It's not, like, resisting that. That's probably the best action to take, I think.
Oh, you left her with Tapu. She only has Mudstout on her, as far as I'm aware. So, oh, never mind. More pertinent information has come to light. Acerola, the character with a unique design, is a trial captain.
No shit. No. Really? I just... No.
You're pulling the wool over my eyes, I think.
I think you are funning me, good sir.
Funning? What the fuck?
No, actually, what I like about this trial is that, oh, wait, no, sorry, cutscene.
Oh, man, there's like plot upon plot in these bars.
Really, man? Come on.
Like, the time you spend gesturing, you could be capturing her and be like, off. You'd be on your merry travels.
You know, what if it was like a vibrating... You know what, I'm not gonna finish that sentence.
Please, don't.
And then I'm like, excuse me, I'm sorry, what are you fucking doing?
Oh man, he's gesturing like, oh my god, he's doing it, he's stop, where am I going with this sentence?
It's times like these that kind of make me wish the default face wasn't in effect, because I wanted like a look of angry determination as I rushed in to save Lillie. I'm like, hold this shit, I object, good sir.
Sorry about that little like vocal quib. Or, like, whatever earlier. He's kind of like a butterfly that kind of, like, tries to ward off predators. All the gesturing kind of, like, confused the signals in my brain and stopped me from talking correctly.
Basically, he's a butterfly, but he thinks he can sting like a bee. Unfortunately, that's not the case.
Yeah, you better be aware of Darkest Lariat, because it's coming to you right now.
I'm aware that I'm about to get my shit kicked in by the giant heel Pokemon. And there we go.
Nice.
Well, I'm glad you had a plan, because personally, I was just concerned for a minute there.
Really, if you guys came in two, like, it would be slightly harder, like a 2-on-2 battle, or even like a 2-on-1 battle. Shit, I've been doing those throughout the game with the totem Pokemon and whatnot. But as is, no, not really.
And considering the battles we're going to be facing later on, it really does not make sense that we do not deploy all of our Pokemon at once to fucking take on the enemy, which, you have to admit, with some fights we'll do later on, would be fucking hype like no idea, man. Although the 3DS would chug terribly, so I guess I shouldn't do that.
Well, I think that even the new 3DS would explode if it was like 3-on-3 and whatnot.
I'm thinking 6-on-6. Let's go full fucking Overwatch here, man. Let's do it.
And away he saunters.
Oh, sorry about that, Lillie. I get a little violent.
You'll be a trainer one day, Lillie. Don't worry. Nebby will be out of the bag. You'll be in clothes that your mother hasn't picked out, more of which later. And the explanation for that is actually kind of disturbing, honestly. But yeah, you'll be a trainer. It'll be fine.
Ah, Lillie, it's no problem. I'm merely a hero of the day. That's just how I operate, man.
Lillie, did you buy me stuff? Did you buy me more clothes?
I don't know, if you bought me more potions and revives, I'll take them.
Huh. I don't think I ever used luxury balls.
Neither did I, because they did not have the effect of getting me Pokemon I wanted more easily.
How does Lillie afford this stuff? Does she have, like... When she left home, did she just, like, take her mum's credit card or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I really do think that's what happened. I think she just straight up stole it, and it'll be pretty easy to see why. Now, what I wanted to mention, before a cutscene interrupted, was that her trial actually takes place in... Because, you know, when we visited the Thrifty Mega Mart and I asked about, like, why there weren't any more locations for that, that's where this trial takes place. It's actually an abandoned Thrifty Mega Mart, which sort of helps kind of establish the fact that when I went to the one that was actually populated, it felt really fucking creepy. This one actually kind of goes full circle in that regard.
Oh yeah. And from this point on, the game is going to, like, kick up in difficulty a little bit, because we're going to be fighting ghosts, but one of them has a subtyping that makes it pretty hard to get dark attacks off.
That's true. I'm trying to remember exactly how I took them on, and eventually... Well, I can tell you now that fuck Konami, my boy is the one that got us through in the end, because let me tell you, that dude saved my ass in more ways than one, because he was at max affection. Not only was he a tank, he was able to take hits and, like, you know, without dying and without, like, having poison and shit affect him, because he would shrug it off, because he was a fucking boss, man!
Maybe my problem is, and you'll see this as we go on, my Pokemon keep dying a lot. Maybe it's because I don't spend enough time in Poke Refresh. You know, make them love me, thus making them able to, you know, shrug off paralysis, poison, you know, tank hits better.
I'll admit, I have not spent as much time there as I would have liked, you know, recently. It kind of, like... The thing with Pokemon Refresh is that once you, you know, get them to that max affection, it's a very, very useful effect. It does all that stuff, but the work to get up to that point, and I'm not going to sit here and say, like, oh, no, loving my Pokemon is work, but it's like, I feel it's something that should happen more organically. Like, okay, this is kind of sort of tangentially related in the sense that sometimes with some actions, you don't really want to replicate them in a game, where, because it's usually stuff that we will automatically do in real life without thinking. That's why we have habits. Habits are basically nature's way of programs to just let us do stuff naturally. That's why we get up when the sun is up, things like that. That's why we'll automatically tend to eat or do certain things, because we have habits that automatically drive us in that way. If you've ever played, and I know I think you've dabbled in at least one of these. If you ever played, you know, one of the old school Sierra adventure games, right? The thing is about those earlier games when they rely on like the text parser is that you have to do it for every action, including stuff that in real life you would just automatically do. I don't think when I'm locking the doors to my car. I just do it. I don't have to sit there and consciously do it. I don't have to think to have my heart beat, for example. It just automatically does it. But in games like that, you have to do stuff like that. Otherwise, the game will not take that seriously and you will die. With Pokemon Refresh, it's kind of that same thing where it's that you're hanging out with them, and you know, if you're having them battle and you're healing them, yeah, they'll get affection towards you, but then you have to actively go in there and just do that. And it takes me out of it a little bit, because it just honestly felt like something I could just keep putting off. I don't really feel that engaged and motivated to go in there all the time, because it takes time out of the momentum I'm trying to build, and I feel that kind of stuff should happen more organically, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, it does. I agree. I usually find myself going in there if the Pokemon's been, like, poisoned or has a status effect, but enough of the Poke Refresh shit. The prophecy! The time has come!
See, this is what happens when you train him wrong as a joke, and then he finds out the proper way to fight.
Come on down, Wimplo, in your new, glorious form. My nipples look like milk duds.
Are we just gonna keep quoting that for this guy? Oi.
Oh, jump that wall if you're so great. Oh, Golisopod. What a fantastic looking design. It'll take me a little bit to grok her, as Helldragon would say, but I'm thinking of keeping this dudette in my team for as long as I can.
Yeah, Golisopod I only really saw when I fought Guzma that first time. Good design, though. Like, if I had another chance to kind of go back and do that, like, you know, if I was doing this game over, I'd definitely pick one up for the team. There's something else I was going to say, and I done forgot. It learned First Impression, which is a move that always catches me off guard, because you can only use it when the Golisopod first gets into the fight. Like, either the battle begins or it gets switched in. But it's super fast, it hits heavy, and it's a dark-type move, which...
No, it's a bug-type move, mate.
Bug-type, I'm sorry. A bug's work against Psychic, though, doesn't it?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so that's why it killed my Alolan Raichu in, like, one hit when I was fighting Guzma. Spoilers for the second time, just throwing that out there.
You remember in Gen 1, where I think Psychic's only weakness was Bug, but all the Bug Pokemon in that game, I believe, like... Wait, no. No. The point I was trying to make is Ghost was good against Psychic, but all the Ghosts in the game were part Poison, which is weak against Psychic.
And also the Bug-type Pokemon in the original games were kind of not as good as they are. Nowadays, of course, they have more moves for that kind of thing. Pinobee and, Ribombeam is also part Fairy, so you do have more options, at least as the games went on.
Here's the, Pikachu of this generation, Togi Demaru. I'm surprised they kept that very Japanese-sounding name, but, props to them, I guess. Electric and Steel, I believe.
Whenever they try to introduce new Pikachu-esque kind of Pokemon for the generation, sometimes they're on the mark, sometimes they're not. I'd probably have to say my favorite one, or the one I feel is the most successful, is, Pachirisu, that's one of them. No, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Elmoga. the flying squirrel. I thought that was actually really good. And the Plusle and Minun, which admittedly look kind of similar to Pikachu, so that sort of makes sense. But beyond that, none of the Pikachu rodent types beyond that have really kind of appealed to me. I just got the original because Pichu was available. I'm sorry, guys.
Maryl's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I forgot Meryl was supposed to be one of those. Oh, I'm sorry, Pika Blue. That's why we all thought, you know.
Isn't it part fairy nowadays, like him and Azumarill?
I'm gonna double check that, but yes, I believe Meryl is part fairy now. Let's look that up. Yes, it is water fairy. I think, Azumarill is... It's normal fairy, which is kind of odd, because it's blue, so I automatically think, oh, it must be a water type right now.
Are you just, like, throwing me around in a sand tornado? Is that what you're doing there?
I guess he's trying to out-sumo the sumo, and as we've seen, that doesn't quite work that well.
Oh, Hakaho, you've been a great help to us, but soon your time will come, my friend. Soon your time will come.
My hands are super sweaty. Can you help me dry them off? No, I don't think I'll be doing that.
There, here's a paper towel. You know, go nuts.
Well, at least they're reusing the property, because normally you just kind of rent that place out again for shit. But here they're just like, fuck it, it's gonna be a trial, it's haunted, I ain't doing shit with that.
Well, you'd have to go in and, like, remove all the ghosts and whatnot. Are you willing to do that?
Well, I mean, they have Ghostbusters with, like, Pokemon, right? Don't you think? That, actually, I'd like to see that. I want to see art of, like, how the Ghostbusters would look in, like, Pokemon, with Pokemon designed to bust ghosts. That would actually be really neat. It would all have to be dark types, though. Like, I want to give Ernie Hudson the Umbreon, because I thought that would be amazing, man.
Oh, yeah. Give the black dude the Pokemon that's known as Blackie in Japan. What the fuck?
Hey, he's seen shit that'll make you turn into a Sylveon, man.
Okay. Just making sure I'm all prepared and whatnot.
Everybody eat your cookies and your candy, and I promise this will not backfire when you sugar crash.
That poor Rage Candy Bar, never getting used.
Yeah, I have surprisingly so many items that heal status conditions, but I heal status conditions in Pokemon Refresh most of the time, so...
Oh yeah, well, we've talked about that enough for one part, I believe.
So, a funny story, this place used to be a circuit city, and you could see now why it got abandoned.
Bit near to the knuckle, don't you think, mate?
Something like that. I wanted to go to Circuit City when I was a kid, and Comp USA, but I never really had the chance because I was one of those weird kids who really liked big department stores because I barely went into them. Hell, it was a treat to actually travel up the road a ways to go to fucking Walmart. Because where I lived, it was mostly like Winn-Dixie and Delchamps and shit, and it was kind of neat to see, like, the big box stores, which is really weird that they're still selling Diablo 2 after all these years when I was a kid. It's nuts, man.
Jeez. Okay, I guess we're going to be playing a bit of Fatal Frame in the next part, going through abandoned places, taking pictures of ghosts and having them attack us, which should have been a thing that was actually in the Pokefinder to begin with, you know, like in the demo and whatnot.
Yeah, something like that, and I have no idea what she did to Rotom, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to agree with that.
Well, we'll only be using it for this particular trial, so don't get used to it.
And don't catch Pokemon, quit having fun. It's not catch them all, despite what Tom will have you believe.
I don't mind not being able to catch Pokemon until the trial's over. It just keeps me on point. And speaking of being on point, join us next time for the 6th trial.